little bit of a different video today. I'm just going to talk about all of my guitars. And I figure I would start with the one I have had the longest, and that is this Epiphone PR200 that my wife got me for my first birthday after we started dating, and it has still been kind of my main acoustic ever since I've had it. It just has a really good sound. It's probably not in tune. Closer than I thought it'd be. But yeah, it's just always just had this big, full, good acoustic sound to it. Yeah, I really haven't done anything to it. Oh, I did have a DiMarzio pickup in here. No, Dean Markley pickup in here. And I put a hole in it for a jack, because I didn't like the cord hanging out here, so I just had it run through there. But that's all I've ever done to it. I mean, other than that, you know, I mean, a couple of the bridge pins, if I can think of the right word, a couple of bridge pins broke, so I had to replace those. But yeah, it's just been a really good workhorse acoustic that, yeah, I just love the way it sounds and the way it plays. All right, since we started with acoustics, let's just keep going that way. This is my Ovation Celebrity CK57. Am I remembering that right? Yeah, CK057. I don't remember when I got this. I know I've had it for probably 15 years. I don't know. It's always just had not as full of sound as the Epiphone, but it's just, you know, been a nice. It was great when I was doing acoustic stuff with my friend Mike, because it was easier to amplify this than to, you know, do the full acoustic with a microphone. But yeah, it's just been a nice guitar that, well, yeah, it's innovation. Cool. All right, this is a 2001 Ibanez Tallman acoustic, and I got this from some local guy who was just wanted to get rid of it, and I got it, you know, pretty inexpensively. I didn't need another acoustic, but I couldn't pass it up for what he wanted for it. So so yeah, I just had to grab it, and yeah, I use it. Well, it's nice to have another one that can be plugged in. Makes it easier to you know, play live or whatever. And yeah, I just well, yeah, like I say, I couldn't pass it up. All right, the last acoustic I'm going to talk about is this old. I'm assuming it's a Harmony. I really have no idea. If anybody knows from the inlays, maybe it's an old, I don't know. My dad found it at a secondhand store and got it and painted it all up like this whole red, white, and blue theme. I was in a band called American Standard at the time, and he had this sticker made. And yeah, just he put the bridge on here, had no idea where it needed to be, so I had another bridge I had to put here. So yeah, it's just, I don't really play it because it doesn't have a truss rod. The action is, you know, but it's just a neat little kind of a wall hanger, and yeah, it's just pretty cool. All right, this is another one. Well, this is the electric that I've had the longest. This is a 93 Telecaster, just a standard Telecaster, made in Mexico. My wife got me this for our wedding. This was my wedding present from her. So there you go, guys. Find a girl who's going to buy you guitars. That's awesome. I've modded a lot of this. I mean, it was just the regular stock Tele. It's got humbuckers, DiMarzio, PAF Pro, and a chopper, I believe. And I changed the cavity control layout and all that stuff. Yeah, I've done a lot to it. But yeah, it is still just a really good workhorse guitar. And yeah, like I say, it's well, shit, 93 is a lot of years ago. All right, this is my 2011 EVH Wolfgang Special, made in Japan. And yeah, it did not start like this. It was actually one of the stealth models, but the finish was getting all, it was like that matte finish, but it was getting all shiny, and I just didn't like the way it looked. And so, of course, I had to stripe it. The only mods I have done to this are I moved the switch from up here to down here and put a kill switch in it, and then, of course, the paint job. But yeah, it's just a really good guitar. You know, it's the EVH. I mean, come on, cool. I'm not talking about these in any specific order, just the order that they are in my big stand. So that's the order we're getting them in. This is my 2021 Kramer Beretta Special that I have done so many modifications to. Most notably the Floyd Rose. This just had a regular Strat trim. Planet Tone pickup. I did the whole nut and all that. Put a tool on the back for adjusting stuff. Yeah, it's just, well, I just turned it into more of a real 80s kind of a shred guitar. And I've got videos of all these guitars. If you actually want to know more about them, leave me a comment. I can link you to them, or ask me questions about them and I can answer them too. But yeah, that is just cool. All right, this is my 2020 Reverend Sensei Jr. I got this in a trade with Chris Malone, and my good friend. You can check him out at Chris Malone Music if you want to, which I can leave a link down below too. And yeah, it's got a well, he modified it mostly. I did a couple things to it, but he did most of the modifications. Put this different pick guard on. This is a DiMarzio Virtual P90. He did the kill switch, and then I put on a tone pot with a push-pull to split that. But yeah, it's just a really good guitar. If you guys have never tried a Reverend guitar, definitely worth checking out. They are just, well, they play great. They sound good. I mean, the ones I've played, yeah, I'm babbling, sorry. But yeah, just a cool guitar. All right, before I talk about this guitar, I have to apologize for saying cool all the time, but guitars are cool. This is a Harley Benton Strat kit. I got it. It was with shipping. It was like 120 bucks. I think they're up to 180 now or something. But anyway, yeah. And I then got it, put it all together. Did videos of all that, and then I put a bunch of modifications on it. I put locking tuners on it. Replaced the pickups. These are Tone Hatch. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of them, but these are some really good pickups. Put some string saver saddles, and then just changed it all to black instead of the white that it was, because I just like that contrast. But yeah, otherwise it's just for the money, just such a really good guitar. I mean, it's definitely quality is above what the actual price of it is, and I just think that is awesome. It's not all guitars. I have some basses too. This started life as a P-bass copy by a company called Stage Guitars, and they were out of Austin, Texas, I don't know. They were out of someplace in Texas. I do not remember where, but it was just a really nice, inexpensive P-bass copy, and it was my brother's. It was originally white, and then it was painted. It's been painted quite a few times, and then finally when I got into American Standard, I decided I had to do the Van Halen's pattern, so then I even put a Kramer logo on it. Totally like the 5150 guitar, but it's a bass. So yeah, it was just, yeah, I used this for a lot of the early shows I did with that band, and yeah, it was just always been a fun, a fun thing to play. All right, this was the main bass I played when I was at American Standard, and it's still my main bass because I just love it. This is a 2014 Schecter Diamond P Custom. And yeah, it just, well, obviously P-bass copy. Has the humbucker back here with coil split, which is great. And the only modification I've done to this is I put a hip shot detuner on it, because you might need drop D quick. But yeah, it just, I've always loved the way this thing sounded and the way it plays. It is a little bit heavy, though. I should weigh this thing sometime and see how much it actually weighs. All right, the last bass we're going to talk about, and then we'll get back to the guitars. This is a 2012 Ibanez SR300, and it's actually my wife's, but I did play it live a lot. And yeah, it's just, it's really light. It's, got this more contoured, form-fitting body, so, hugged your body really good. It's got a smaller neck, so it's easier to play if you got smaller hands. And yeah, it's just volume. This is this is the volume. This is switching how much of each pickup you want, and then these are different tone options. I mean, yeah, it's just a nice, versatile, easy to play bass. And so yeah, it's just cool. All right, one of my favorite guitars that I own. This is my 2020 Kramer Beretta Vintage, and I just love it. I mean, I started playing guitar in the 80s, and this was like, if I could have had something like this then, I would be just like, this is, well, it's what Eddie Van Halen was playing, and it was, everybody was playing Kramers in the 80s. But yeah, it's just awesome. The only thing I've done to it is I added the detuner, the EVH detune on there, because like I said earlier, you never know when you might need drop D. All right, now we are looking at a 2009 PRS SE Tremonti that I got from Chris Malone through another guitar trade. And then I went crazy and modified the shit out of it. I changed all the hardware to black, trim. It's got DiMarzios in it that Chris had in there. It's a Tone Zone and a Air Norton. Move the switch like I did on the EVH because toggle switches up here get in my way. Detuna. And right now it's just one volume. These two don't do anything. But yeah, I had Dave's Guitar Shop in La Crosse, Wisconsin, route the Floyd for me, or route the cavity for the Floyd, so I could put that on there. And yeah, it's just a really good, well, more like a shredder Les Paul. And yeah, I love it. All right, this is a 2005 Epiphone SG Special that I got from my friend Pat Logan. He just gave it to me. And it didn't look like this when I got it. I modified it to make it look like, well, a more expensive SG. It had no pick guard. It had only 2 knobs. And the three-way was like, I don't remember. I think the switch was in the middle of it. Anyway, I modded it up to be the way it was supposed to be. Put some better quality tuners on it. And it's got DiMarzios in it. I'm probably going to switch them at some point to something more vintagey. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, it's just a really cool, well, it's SG. It's awesome. All right, this is the Cameron Diaz guitar. For now, I am going to change it. It just doesn't do it for me anymore. And it actually is not an Ibanez, even though the head stock is shaped that way, because I made it shaped that way. It's actually a guitar made by a guitar company called Series 10, which I don't even know if they still make guitars anymore, but very inexpensive. I mean, it's really light. Sounds good, though. The pickup, this is a Planet Tone Dissident, and it just sounds great. If you guys have never played those Planet Tone pickups, you definitely should try them. They're awesome. But yeah, I have a Floyd Special on it. Got the D-Tuna. Put an arcade-style kill switch in it, and yeah, it just shouldn't sound and play as good as it does for as inexpensive a guitar as it is. This is my 1998 Ibanez S470. I got this from my brother Troy. These S's are so thin. If you guys have never checked them out, it's just insane. It's got DiMarzios in it, but other than that, it's pretty much stock. Yeah, it's just a great, fun guitar to play. It just hugs your body so good. Neck feels great. And yeah, it's just, well, like I say, it's fun. All right, after having my modified Telly that I showed you earlier for so many years, I wanted to go back to an original type Telly sound and setup, but I didn't want to turn that one back because I just love the way that one is. So I got this Harley Benton Telecaster kit because I like the Stratocaster kit so much that I showed you earlier. But the wood grain wasn't as, I didn't like the way the wood looked as much, so I knew I was going to paint this. I tried to do a sunburst. It didn't work right, but it ended up being this kind of crazy, dirty yellow. And then I modified a bunch of stuff. This is actually still the original pickups from the kit, which I think sound decent. I flipped the control plate, so the switch is down here, the volume's up here, because switching that, you get in the way there. I always be hitting the volume. Put a little arm contour on it, and some D'Addario locking tuners that actually cut off the strings when you tune them, which is cool. And yeah, it's just a fun, quirky little guitar to play. All right, lastly is probably my favorite guitar that I have right now. I mean, I play this thing a lot. It feels so good. It sounds good. It plays good. This is a 2003 Fender Esquire GT Custom. And they only made these in 2003. They had 3 color options. There was a red and a silver. And yeah, it just plays great. It's got Locky tuners on it. Whoever had it before me put those on and put the string saver saddles. I put a DiMarzio PAF Pro in it and push pull for coil split. And it's a set neck Telly, which is crazy. I've got some belly contour. I mean, this was all from the factory. And yeah, it was just such a cool, fun guitar to play. And I would love to find another one, maybe get one of all the colors, but that is the future. So yeah, that, well, it's cool. All right, there you go. Just a quick rundown of all of my guitars that I currently have that I play. And I'm sure you've seen most of them in my videos if you've been watching them. On that note, if you have been watching my videos, thank you so much. You guys have been hitting the likes and hitting subscribe and got me up to the point where, you know, I've got over 1,000 subscribers now, and that is awesome. So I want to thank you guys for that. And if you're not, hey, if you don't mind a guy babbling about guitars, because that's what I do, please hit the subscribe down there and help me grow the channel, because that is appreciated so much. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.